Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going over, what if Deku had World Crimson Part 2. If you enjoy the video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Now, let's get into the video. Episode 2, Underground Masquerade. Deku was at a Walmart on a Saturday evening minding his business. He was buying some groceries with the money he got from his father. Everything was normal there. Deku was almost done getting everything on the list when he saw a vision of three men robbing the store. This was set to happen in a couple of seconds. From the front of the store, the robbers started to scream for everyone to get down and empty their pockets. "Alright everyone, just do whatever me and my comrades say and this will go by easily. No sudden movement or funny business or we'll shoot. If we hear a siren, you're all dead." Robber 1 locked the store's doors and pulled the metal gate down. He was watching outside to make sure no cops were approaching the store. The second robber was going around taking people's valuables including money, phones, tablets, jewelry, etc. The third robber was making sure that nobody moved or tried anything. As the second robber was wrapping up, he stopped when he saw a masked man approaching him. "Hey, did I say you could move? Stop where you are and get on the ground now or else. Take another second and you're getting filled with lead," the second robber ordered. The masked figure stopped where he was for a second. He started walking towards the man again. The man was kinda scared. Out of fear, the man was about to dump the gun's mag at the unknown figure but it was empty. The man was puzzled because his gun's magazine was somehow unloaded. The man let out a scream over a sharp pain in his stomach. Behind him was the masked figure who he ordered to stop. He punctured his stomach and didn't even touch him. The man collapsed onto the floor. The masked figure pointed at the employee-only room. The civilians near him ran into the employee's room to escape. Robber 1 and Robber 3 walking to each other. "What the hell was that man? He's dead. We gotta get outta here. I don't wanna die," yelled the third robber. He ran towards the exit and tried to lift the gate. In the blink of an eye, his hands were removed from his body. The man screamed like crazy. "Bro, get over here and help me. Bro." The robber looked before him and saw his teammate with a gaping hole in his chest. His body was cast aside by the masked figure behind him. The figure had taken the gun from the dead robber. The third robber started panicking as the figure aimed his new gun at the criminal. Pow, pow, pow. The third robber dropped dead. He's gotten shot 3 times in his chest. The people were glad that they were saved by the masked figure but they didn't want to go near it, thinking it was a creature. All of a sudden, it disappeared. SWAT team officers started to rush inside the store from the back room. They were checking on the civilians, then they noticed the dead bodies of the robbers on the floor. They were stunned at the scene. Civilians started running out of the store through the back door. Later in the day, Izuku was at his house getting ready to go meet up with Bakugo and Kirishima, and some friends to hang out with at the movies. Deku's TV was showing the news about a murderer who was still at large. Deku had a picture of the man printed out. He puts the picture of the man and $160 inside his wallet before heading out. He had a drug order drop on the way there. After a while of walking, he was close to the theater. He decided to look into the future of what would happen if he did this deal. The events played out like this. Deku would make the drop with the person but then police officers would come and arrest the person. It isn't that bad since he can get them both away if he needs to use his stand's power. Deku proceeded to walk down the alley nearby and saw a woman with blonde hair, a mask, and a school uniform sitting down. "Are these the blue diamonds you want?" asked Izuku. "No, it's just for my medicine," replied the female. Follow me now, I have the package, but in a few seconds, police officers are going to come down this alleyway. They hide behind a large trash can container. Wait for them to go by, then we'll talk, whispered Izuku. There were a lot of footsteps heard until they got a clear visual. 2 officers walked by until they left the alleyway. The blonde woman was looking at Izuku rather than paying attention to the officers. Izuku was wearing a black and red surgical mask and a hoodie covering his face. She felt like she was in love, but that shouldn't be possible for her. She never fell in one with anyone this easily, so this is now. Izuku was quite fit and muscular. He was built like Lil Kong. She was about to grab one of her knives to kill him, but it wasn't on her for some reason. Were you looking for this? Deku asked the psycho school girl while holding her knives in her wallet. Hold on, how did you find out about my knives? Most importantly, did you take them without me knowing? Asked the psycho school girl. So your name is Himiko Toga. Nice name, but how about we get down to business? Deku took out the money from her wallet and put the drugs in her knives onto the ground. You should be more careful out there. A lot of sickos are out there killing people. You should quit while you're ahead. Izuku started to walk off. Wait, Himiko started to walk towards the anonymous drug dealer. Who are you? Why are you telling me to quit? Asked the insane girl. I'm planning to take down the leader of crime. My father has told me the story of All for One. He's an insane man responsible for all of the crimes in Japan. I'm planning to kill him and destroy the league myself. Those who help me will be recognized and rewarded. Even though I prefer to work alone, I'll need some help. I'll need to play his game and work through the ranks to take him down. If you join me, it's every man for themselves, since vigilantes are illegal. From your knives, I'm guessing you're a murderer. I only ask if you join me and never murder anyone ever again. Himiko walks towards Izuku. I'll join you in this mission of yours, said Toga. Izuku signed the girl's declaration. All I can say is that I warned you. Be ready when I need you. Izuku proceeded to walk away and head towards the theater. At the theater, his friends were in line to watch the movie called Avengers: Infinity War. His friends were Bakugo, Kirishima, Todoroki, and Tenya. After the movie was over, they left the theater. They started talking about how cool the movie was and their favorite parts. What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus? Quoted Deku. Everyone started laughing hard at that line because it was unexpected and the way they delivered it perfectly. Not to mention the final battle against Thanos. It was a bitch that he won, but everyone did put up a good fight. Thor did fuck it up by not aiming for the grape's head. It would have killed him instantly. Anyway guys, I need you guys to help me with something, said Deku. Everyone was confused. What does he need help with? I'm going to become a vigilante and take down a huge crime boss. To do that, I'll need help. If you choose to help me, know this. It's every man or woman for themselves if you go down. This ends with us in 3 ways, us in jail, in the grave, or us being victorious. Are you guys down to help me? I'll give y'all some time to think about it, asked Deku. Deku started to walk home after saying that. After getting home, he started to write in his journal about his plans to take down the crime boss. He was going to keep selling drugs on the street until he could find someone who was associated with the boss. He was then going to betray that group by killing and interrogating the boss of that specific group. He'll take anything like his electronic devices, documents, or anything of use to push him closer to finding this man. He'll use the media and the internet for clues through incidents and attacks related to this crime organization. He needs to keep himself hidden as much as he can. He also needs to decide when his team can and cannot come with him. He'll do this by choosing who's more effective in what types of situations. Bakugo has a direct approach in combat with his explosion quirk. His quirk involves him emitting nitroglycerin-like substances that he sweats and makes blow up. His attitude is quite explosive, but he strives to be stronger like me. He's not a stealth type, so I'll have to have him take down enemies with a stealth attack while their quirks are deactivated. Not that he's weak, but we'll need him to end fights quickly and flee the scenes. Kirishima is the same, but the conditions of his quirk are suitable with Bakugo's quirk if they were to team up. His power is quite strong both offensively and defensively. His drawback is that he has a stamina and endurance limit to his quirk. If he takes too much damage or uses it for too long, it hurts and tires him out. He's going to be a good asset in combat, but a failure in getting away from the local authorities. He'll need to be trained in parkour so he can get around faster. Todoroki's quirk is quite too flashy. He can use both fire and ice powers, but he's a huge liability if he uses it wrong. From what I know, his quirk is related to his parents. He won't exactly tell me why he hates his power though. However, from my experience and from watching him, it's a family drama. I rather not get him on my team. However, since he's enrolling in Ua High School, that means that he'll be front line against villains. If he becomes a hero, he'll be able to help me and get me information about heroes and villains of all sorts, including their plans and goals and possible places they could be hiding at. Tenya is great for getting away from the cops with his quirk. His engine quirk allows him to use super speed from the engine parts on his leg. His super speed acts as strength for his kicks. He's pretty good at using his quirk and he has excellent control. If I have to pick operations for now, Tenya and Kirishima are for stealth missions and Bakugo and Todoroki are for direct missions. If they accept, that's how it'll be for now. Izuku thought as he wrote this in his notebook. He grabbed his phone and set an alarm for 12 a.m. and one for 2 a.m. He puts his phone on his side dresser as he starts to sleep. Time skip. Deku wakes up to his alarm going off. He started to get dressed for his first patrol around the area. He dons a black hoodie, mask, and dark jeans. He snuck out his window and texted his boss that he was working tonight and asked if he wanted any work done. His boss texted him that his guys needed to move a package or 2 bricks. He needs to go to the movie theater, grab the package from behind the dumpster, and take it to his contact at this address. He texts the address to him. Deku grabbed the package and started to make his way towards the address. As he got close to the location, he noticed that there was a police officer's car that had a villain inside it. Deku decided to look into the future, and it revealed that the girl was going to get life in prison for killing a random family and so many innocent people for money. Deku was disappointed as his eyes became red, meaning Diavolopyrus was in control. He saw that the cops were in the house searching for more evidence of her murders. He stopped time as he entered the house. He proceeded to go upstairs and grab a shirt from the towel room. As he went outside, time started to flow normally. Deku had about 1 minute before the cops were done with their search. The woman saw Deku and yelled at him to open the door so she could escape. Deku used his stand to tear off the car tank mini door. The woman started to cry and scream out for help, but no one could hear her. Deku proceeded to light the shirt up as the woman began to kick the window in order to break it, but to no avail. The woman screamed as the car exploded. The cops ran outside. Deku was far away in a nearby room as he stared at the blown-up vehicle, smiling. "That woman deserved nothing but death," said Diavolopyrus. One of Deku's eyes turned from red to yellow. "Dude, You can't go around killing others, we're not above the law, said Dio-san. Shut the hell up, you saw the premonition as well. She is wanted for many crimes including killing a baby. Do you honestly think someone like that deserves to live because, in my eyes, that's a death sentence. There's no reason that a person should be committing all these crimes. I'm on that grind to fix Japan, you lazy fuck. Deku's yellow eyes turn back to red as Deku starts to leave the scene. Deku texts his boss that the police are near the drop. Message received. The message Deku received says that they'll have to reschedule the drop tomorrow evening. Deku texts his boss if he knows a place where he could get quick money. The boss texted back saying to meet him at the Takoba Municipal Beach Park tomorrow at 7 p.m. The next day in the evening, Deku was at home because summer break had begun. He went to the park with his hood covering his face. He checked his watch and it was 6:50 p.m. The boss was nowhere to be found, so he decided to sit down on a bench and wait. After 5 minutes, Deku's hair fell in front of his face as it showed that there was a man with gray hair and glasses. He was wearing a purple suit. He was entering the park behind him. Deku scooted over as the man walked to the other side of the bench and sat down next to Deku. "So you're Zu?" asked the man. "Yeah. You the man I'm supposed to meet?" asked Deku. "Yeah. Something like that. I heard you wanted to make some money," said the man. "It just so happens I have an opportunity for you. Do you like fighting?" "Yes," Deku answered. "Well, there's a place I know where you'll get a lot of money for just fighting. You get more if you kill the opponent. Also, make sure to bring a mask to hide your identity. You'll need to take a train to Osaku and there you'll find an underground deathmatch fight club. You'll have a blast there. Huge money payout." Deku aka Zu started smiling. This is exactly what he wanted to kick his plan into motion. If he can get some money, he can start paying those who helped him and plan on assassinating the crime leader of Japan. Once he takes her down, he'll take back the city and turn the evil organization into a crime-fighting one. All Might is my adopted father, but don't worry, I'm not working or helping him. I wanna carve my own path and work my way up my own way. This surprised the man a little. Usually, All Might would inspire those around him to do the right thing, so why is his adopted son turning to the bad side? He pulled out a phone he had on him and called someone on that phone. After talking to the person on the phone, he told Zu that he'd be getting picked up in 2 days in Osaka. He proceeded to give him a tracker for the organization to find him and take him to the underground organization. Deku texted his dad that he wanted to go to Osaka by himself. Both of them got up and shook hands. "Thanks for the business, Zu. You can call me Jiren," said the old man. "Thanks, and here's a gift of my gratitude," said Deku. Deku grabbed the man by the throat using one of World Crimson's arms. With the other arm, he punctured through his stomach as the man's face changed from a kind and grateful expression to a really terrified one. "You honestly think I was trying to join your little group of fighters? I'm going to find your boss and kill him before he even realizes what hit him," declared Deku. Jiren felt backward as the stand removed its fist from the criminal's guts. Jiren tried to scream but couldn't for some reason. World Crimson punches the man so hard in the face that it destroys his skull. The stand proceeded to search his pockets and pulled out the phone he had. It required a passcode to use. The man also had a wallet on him. Deku opened the wallet and found a lot of interesting things. He found a picture of a guy with blue hair and severed hands covering her face. There's a portal-faced villain behind them. There's also a paper with a few numbers written on it. This must be the code. Deku questioned himself. Before he could use the code on the phone, Deku's hair falls in front of his hair as it shows that there was a police officer coming near his location. He would arrive there in 25 seconds. Deku proceeded to leave normally through the exit. As Deku was walking, he started to type the code into his phone. The code was successful and the phone was opened. The phone had a lot of photos and files of crime-related activities on it. Deku started to look through the phone calls and he saw a few names that sounded interesting. He decided to add those numbers to his phone. He had an idea about tricking his county workers but pretending to be him. He'd need to get his hands upon a voice replicator or impersonator to make his voice sound like Jiren. For now, Deku used Jiren's phone to text the boss on his phone saying that he's coming to Osaka to visit the Fight Club. Back at home, Deku was talking to All Might about going to Osaka. "Hey, do you wanna go to Osaka, Midoriya?" asked All Might. "I just wanna go on vacation a little before I have to go back to high school," answered Izuku. "I promise there's nothing to worry about, Dad. I just wanna get out of town to explore." All Might was annoyed by this. "Then why won't you let me come with you?" asked All Might. "Dad, I don't wanna feel like I'm in prison plus I'm growing up. It's time to let me fly solo with my friends for once," said Deku. All Might started thinking about what Deku said. He was right about him getting older and it's only for a while then he'll come home. "Alright, just be careful and give me a call when you get there," said All Might. Deku nodded at All Might as Deku grabbed his suitcase. His suitcase was packed with a few sets of clothes, necessities, and his PlayStation 5. Deku got some messages from some of his friends about joining him on his mission. He texts them to meet him at the train station because he has a mission for them. He tells them that he's got a lead on finding the boss. It's in an underground fight club.